Greetings, I'm Dana Chavis reporting to you for national action against police brutality and murder. Earlier today, I attempted to share and post on Facebook about the statewide curfews being implemented in the midst of President Trump threatening martial law, and discovered that my posts were not being allowed to post on my personal page on Facebook. I attempted to post this information 3 times, and 3 times it disappeared. So I'm doing this video here to share with you some of the difficulties that are occurring with some of the posts that I attempt to share. It seems to be that censorship is at an all-time high on Facebook, and those of you who are activists or people who are sharing pertinent information about the things going on in regards to social injustice are well aware that there has always been a form of censorship on Facebook. However, in light of the recent protests nationwide, there seems to be an escalation of this censorship. In our case, particularly since the petition that we have been pushing forward that is demanding nationwide action against police brutality and murder has seen tremendous increase in interest over the last several days. Currently, as I'm speaking to you now, we have 500,000 signatures on that demand and growing. So I'm doing this video to encourage those of you who have joined it, who have signed it, continue sharing and posting it. Post it far and wide. We need to reach out to people who are yet unaware of such a demand that is in progress. Police accountability is being demanded by many people, and many people are saying how police murders are a nationwide epidemic. On our page, National Action Against Police Brutality, we are well aware that it's a national epidemic. It's a situation that I have been pushing forward for a very long time, declaring it is a national epidemic, and as a result of that, I've launched nationwide action against it before the nationwide protests that we see that are now taking place. These protests have erupted in violence, property damage, and fires for which innocent people who went out there in a genuine sincerity to demand that those officers involved in the murder of George Floyd be charged and prosecuted are being blamed for a sincere intent to demand justice, whereas others, some of which have came from outside the city, have gone in and destroyed property. So now the focus has been placed on the destruction of property instead of the life that has been taken. And as a result, the president is threatening military action in the cities from state to state across America. I think it's interesting how it always turns out that the very victims themselves who are fighting for justice ultimately end up being victimized and being blamed as the ones responsible for whatever ill is being discussed. In this situation, in regards to the national protests, there are extremist groups, factions, as well as undercover agents in the midst of these protests who are well aware of those who are responsible for igniting fires and causing the property damage. Yet they have not been called out as being those responsible. The bulk of it seems to be placed on those who are out there demanding justice. So I just want to say that there's a lot going on in the midst of these protests, and things aren't always what they seem to be, particularly when people who have genuine sincerity in decrying a murder and demanding the guilty be punished or suddenly found to be the blame. Make no mistake about it, I don't agree with people's property being damaged, but I don't agree with the murders of people seen on video for which a hesitancy exists to bring charges against them. When it's African Americans and people of color, we are arrested and charged without a video. We are arrested and charged without witnesses. We are arrested and charged based on the say-so of police themselves. And there's no hesitancy or prolonged investigation on the part of the prosecutors as to whether or not they want to bring charges. So we see a disparity here. So people are right to take exception to a prolonged investigation that fails to bring about charges. Anyway, there are other things that I want to share with you, but for right now, my main reason for doing this particular video is to encourage you to share our demand, post it far and wide, and participate in this effort for nationwide action against police brutality and murder. You should know that the demand that we have in progress was never intended to be a petition where people sign it and then it gets sent off somewhere and we wait for a response. We know what the response will be. And that's the reason that we are requesting for donations to fund this movement so that we can have an organized effort of people who are willing to fight that police be charged and held accountable across the board. It's as simple as that. There will be a fight concerning this demand. And situation and circumstance and history has showed and told us that they have no interest in holding police accountable. Police murder and they are promoted. Police murder and they are defended. Okay, so there's no reason whatsoever to believe that they intend to hold police accountable, and the reforms and all the community review boards and the things that have been in place have yet failed to bring accountability. We wanted cameras, they gave us cameras. We wanted special prosecutors, they gave us special prosecutors. And yet, police are still murdering and not being held accountable. And I'm persuaded, and I hope that you are too, that nothing short of a nationwide demand consisting of all people across the United States who sincerely believe there ought to be liberty and justice for all, who sincerely believe that the guilty who murder unarmed people in the streets ought to be held accountable, no excuse whatsoever. Murder is a crime everywhere you go in the United States, and there's no justification for the murder of unarmed people by police. I don't care what the union says, I don't care what the justifications are. An innocent life has been taken, and somebody must be held accountable. That's the position that we're taking on this, and if you believe in the power of the people, then you ought to support and join this demand. There are no excuses. I'm Danette Chavis for National Action Against Police Brutality and Murder. Visit us on Facebook, on our page, National Action Against Police Brutality and Murder, and support it. When somebody sends you a video telling you to make it go viral, highlighting another murder of police, you let them know that a nationwide demand is in progress and ask them to highlight that. Good night.